You know who killed them? Ah, then. Ah, this is the real mystery of the thing. He tried to kill you. You too. Wanted to make a clean job of it, I suppose. Or maybe he just liked killing by then. But he couldn't do it. Never wondered how you got that mark on your forehead? That was no ordinary cut. That's what you get when a powerful, evil curse touches ye. Took care of your mom and dad in your house, even. But it didn't work on you. And that's why you're famous, Harry. No one ever lived after he decided to kill him. No one except you. And he killed some of the best witches and wizards of the age. The McKinnons, the Bones, the Pruitts. And you was the only baby that ever lived. Something painful was going on in Harry's mind. As Hagrid's story came to a close, he saw again the blinding flash of green light more clearly than he had ever remembered it before. And he remembered something else. For the first time in his life, a high, cold, cruel laugh. Hagrid was watching him sadly. Took ye from your ruined house myself, on Dumbledore's orders, brought ye to this lot. Load of old tosh, said Uncle Vernon. Lies. Tosh, T-O-S, just means to lie. It's not true. Harry jumped. He had almost forgotten that the Dursleys were there. Uncle Vernon certainly seemed to have got back his courage. He was glaring at Hagrid, and his fists were clenched. Now you listen here, boy, he snarled. I accept there's something strange about you. Probably nothing a good beating would have cured. And as for this, about your parents, well, they were weirdos. Abnormal. No denying it. And the world's better off with them out, in my opinion. Ask for all they got. Getting mixed up with these wizarding types. Just what I expected. I always knew they come to a sticky end. But at that moment, Hagrid leaped from the sofa and drew a battered pink umbrella from inside his coat, pointing it at Uncle Vernon like a sword. He said, I'm warning you, Dursley. I'm warning you. One more word. In danger of being speared on the end of the umbrella by a bearded giant, Uncle Vernon's courage failed him again. He flattened himself against a wall and fell silent. That's better, said Hagrid, breathing heavily, and sitting back down on the sofa, which this time sagged right down on the floor. Meanwhile, Harry still had questions to ask, hundreds of them. But what happened to Sorry. I mean, you know who. Good question, Harry. Disappeared. Vanished. Same night he tried to kill you. Makes you even more famous. That's the biggest mystery, you see. He was getting more and more powerful. Why'd he go? Some say he died. Codswallop, in my opinion. Do you know if he had enough human left in him to die? Some say he's still out there. Biding his time. Looking, but I don't believe it. People who was on his side came back to ours. Some of them came out kind of trances. They were under a spell, trances. Don't reckon they could have done if he was coming back. Most of us reckon he's still out there somewhere, but lost his powers. Too weak to carry on. 'Cause something about you finished him, Harry. There was something going on that night. Hadn't counted on. I do know. I do not know what it was. No one does. But something about you stumped him, all right. Hagrid looked at Harry with warmth and respect blazing in his eyes. But Harry, instead of feeling pleased and proud, felt quite sure there had been a horrible mistake. A wizard? Him? How could he possibly be? He's talking about himself, Harry. So he spent his life being clouded by Dudley and bullied by Aunt Petunia and Uncle Vernon. He was really a wizard? Hadn't they been turned into warty toads even time he tried to lock himself in his cupboard? If he had once defeated the greatest sorcerer in the world, how come Dudley had always been able to kick him around like a football? Hagrid, he said quietly, I think you must have made some mistake. I don't think I can be a wizard. To his surprise, Hagrid chuckled. Not a wizard, eh? Never made a thing happen when he was scared or angry? Harry looked into the fire. Now he came to think about it. Every odd thing that had ever made his aunt and uncle furious with him had happened when he, Harry, had been upset or angry. Chased by Dudley's gang, he had somehow found himself out of the reach. Dreading going to school with the ridiculous haircut, he managed to make it grow back. And the very last time Dudley had hit him, hadn't he gone his revenge without even really realizing he was doing it? Hadn't he set a boa constrictor on him? Harry looked back at Hagrid, smiling, and saw Hagrid was positively beaming at him. See, said Hagrid, Harry Potter, not a wizard. You wait. You'll be right famous at Hogwarts. But Uncle Vernon wasn't going to give without a fight. Haven't I told you he's not going, he hissed. He's going to Stonewall High, and he'll be grateful for it. I've read those letters, and he needs all sorts of rubbish, spell books and wands, and if he wants to go, a great muggle like you won't stop him, growled Hagrid. Stop Lily and James Potter's son going to Hogwarts? Ye mad. His name's been down ever since he was born. He's off to the finest school of witchcraft and wizardry in the world. 7 years there, and he won't know himself. He'll be with the youngsters of his own sort, to a change, and he'll be under the greatest headmaster of Hogwarts Hogwarts has ever had. Albus Dumble, Hagrid right here is about to say Albus Dumble, and then Uncle Vernon screams, I'm not paying for some crackpot old fool to teach him magic tricks, yelled Uncle Vernon. But he had finally gone too far. Hagrid seized the umbrella and rolled it over his head. Never, he thundered, insult Albus Dumbledore in front of me. He brought the umbrella with a swishing down through the air to the point at Dudley, where the flash of violent light, a sound like a firecracker, a sharp squill, and next second Dudley was dancing on the spot with his hands clasped over his fat bottom, howling in pain. When he turned his back on them, Harry saw Curly Pig's tail poking out of his whole trousers. Uncle Vernon roared, pulling Aunt Petunia and Dudley into the room, where he cast one last terrified look at Hagrid and slammed the door behind them. Hagrid looked down at the umbrella and stroked his beard. Shouldn't have lost my temper, he said rudely, but it didn't work anyway. Meant to turn him into a pig, but I suppose he was so much like a pig anyway, there wasn't much left to do after. He cast a sideways look at Harry under his brushy eyebrows. Be grateful if he didn't mention that to anyone at Hogwarts, he said. I'm not supposed to do magic, strictly speaking. I was allowed to do a bit to follow ye and get your letters and ye and stuff. One of those reasons I was so keen to take on the job. Why aren't you supposed to do magic? Asked Harry. Oh, well, I was at Hogwarts myself, but I got expelled. He got kicked out. To tell you the truth, in me third year, they snapped me wand in half, everything, but Dumbledore let me stay on as gamekeeper. Great man, Dumbledore. It's getting late. We've lots to do tomorrow, said Hagrid. Loudly, gotta get up to town. Get all your books and that. He took off his thick black coat and threw it onto Harry. You can keep under that, he said. Don't mind if it wriggles a bit. I think I still got a couple or dormice in old pockets. He kept a mouse in his jacket.